What up? It's K.Honesty, and I'm about to do a review of Tyler Perry's Sistas, Season 8, Episode 13. Sorry, I'm a couple days late, but life be life, and I try to get these reviews out as soon as I can. Like and subscribe to the channel. It's a simple, free, anonymous way to help support my channel. It helps your algorithm, helps my algorithm, helps my channel grow, helps in a big way to just like and subscribe. I'm not a public speaker, so as you can see, I will be saying and so and like 1,000 times. I may stop to regain my thoughts. I may slow my speaking down to regain my thoughts. I'm definitely going to be looking at my notes that I take throughout the show. Anything I say, it's my opinion. It does not reflect anyone or anything associated with the show. Comment below what you would grade this week's episode and what you thought of it. If I forgot something or if I was off on something or I left something out, please let me know in the comments. I welcome the difference of opinions in the comments, so please comment below how you felt. I like to grade the episodes before and after my reviews. Like I said, this review is coming out a little late, so I did just finish watching the episode, even though I know it came out Wednesday night. I'm trying to think. Yeah, nothing in this episode really did anything for me. I'm going to give it a C-. Nothing in this episode stood out for me. Maybe the grade will go up at the end of this review, but I doubt it, but we'll see. Last Chance is Tyler Perry's Sistas, Season 8, Episode 13. So if you have not seen it, turn this video off so you don't get any spoilers. So, the episode begins where we left off at the hospital with Zach and Aaron getting into it. The doctor comes out and checks them both about them being the reason why Karen is stressed and why she went into false labor in the first place. Aaron and Zach do apologize to Karen, but it really didn't do anything because Karen storms out with Aaron. So, in another part of the hospital, Aaron, after reading the news about Penelope on their phones, Hayden and Andy, Hayden, he continues to gloat, telling Andy that just because Penelope was arrested doesn't mean that Andy's gonna get her job back and that everything's gonna be sweet. He says, because the partners think that you're a liability, you've been in too many situations, you're problematic, basically. We go to Danny's, where Sabrina is putting Danny to bed, and then she calls Rich to get on him about him telling Tony about Danny. But it was just so contradictory, the conversation, because she's like, why would you tell? She's like, I know Tony's your boy, and you're looking out for him, but why would you tell him? And she's like, just like Danny's my girl. So it's just like, okay, so if it was reversed, you would have called Danny immediately. So why the fuck are you getting on Rich about it? So I was just like, girl, whatever. But she gets on him about that. Rich tells Sabrina, like, Tony was worried about her, whatever the case may be. Then he tells her the news about Penelope's arrest. Aaron drops Karen off home, and Karen starts to tell Aaron about all the text messages she was receiving from Zach, which is what made her frustrated and go into false labor, basically. And Aaron's like, was it something specific that was said that triggered you? And then they show the flashback of Karen finding out that Fatima was pregnant, but she lies and tells Aaron, oh no, there wasn't nothing specific. So then she's like, she tells Aaron, I don't like you and Zach getting into it, but it was nice to have you there to defend me. So they're looking into each other's eyes, and Aaron's like, I will always defend you and my child. And then they kiss, and they're about to kiss, and then Mama Lisa walks in and interrupts. So back at Fatima's place, Zach is worried about if he'll be a bad father or not. And, Fatima's basically reassuring him that he's doing a good job with baby Michael, so he's going to be a good father to her child and Karen's. And then they turn on the news and find out about Penelope. Andy then goes to meet with Robin at his hotel. And I'm just like... So back at Danny's place, she awakes from a nightmare. She tells Sabrina about the nightmare. Apparently, she was dreaming that she had locked away all her vices and they were knocking to get out. And then they were released and they basically overwhelmed her into waking up. I ain't gonna go into all the extra shit they was talking about. Then Sabrina finally tells Danny about Karen and Penelope. Back at Karen's place, Karen assures her mama that it was a false labor and that she's fine. And Mama Lisa basically bullies Aaron out the door. And when Aaron leaves, Karen's like, well, she asks her mother, like, why are you being so harsh with Aaron? And Mama Lisa's like, because you said you wanted to set boundaries with him. And then Karen's like, well, I don't think, now I'm thinking about not setting so many boundaries with Aaron. And she tells her mother about Aaron checking Zach at the hospital. And basically, not in so many words, she says how it turned her on. And so Mama Lisa's like, are you just turned on, or do you think you fall in love with Aaron again? She said again. So I'm like, okay, so she was in love with Aaron before. Then we get this wild ass scene. Maurice shows up at Karen's salon after hours to ask Pam, to buy some of Pam's product, the Roostericious product. And so Pam is like, why? You don't have any hair, basically. And Maurice tells her that he and Grayson used it as lube, so now he wants to buy like her whole he wants to buy her out, basically, buy all her product. I was like, that's not like, that's edge control or whatever the fuck it's called. Why would you want to use that as lube? Like, I don't know. So back at Robin's hotel, Andy asks Robin to represent Penelope. And Robin's like, that wouldn't work because I'm representing you. And Andy's like, I fired you. And Robin's like, come on now. That's not, you wasn't serious. You just mad about the company putting you on sabbatical. And Andy's like, it's not a sabbatical. Like, you forced me out of the company. And Robin's like, well, it's my company, but I didn't force you out. Then he asks Andy why she won't just represent Penelope herself. And Andy's like, well, it would be a conflict of interest because I was dating her brother and we were dating the same guy, and plus she's a divorce attorney, not a criminal attorney. So Robin, he walks up on Andy. He's like, if I do this favor for you and represent Penelope, what will I get in return? Like, basically making it seem like he wants sex out of the deal or something. The FBI agent Watt, he shows up at the hospital to question Gary. Hudson tells him, it's not a good time right now. And Agent Watt starts wondering. He asks Hudson, he's like, why were you so cooperative in the beginning of all this, but now you changing up and you being disrespectful, basically, like you're not trying to let me talk to Gary. And Hudson's like, because Gary's been through a lot, blah, blah, blah. Agent Watts pushes Hudson out the way and goes in Gary's room anyway. So back at Robin's hotel, he all up on Andy, what you gonna do for me? And Andy, she pushes away. She's like, I'm not gonna do shit for you. She starts to leave. And then Robin's like, look, okay, I'll go. He's like, I won't promise that I'll represent her, but I'll go have a talk with her if that makes you happy. And Andy's like, what will make me happy is running the firm that I'm supposed to, because it was owed to me, like I earned it, whatever. And Robin's like, you would have been running the firm had you not let Gary drag you down in his bullshit, blase, blase. They have this back and forth, Again, Robin is like, the woman I love. And Andy's just like, you just so upset that you can't kiss me. Whole bunch of back and forth I didn't really care for. I was like, okay. So, Jordan then meets with Rich and Tony at the bar. Tells them, Andy is having Robin meet with Penelope. Rich and Jordan, of course, they don't really like it. They like that's a conflict of interest. Tony then goes on his phone and looks up Robin. He's like, I don't know. Robin seems like he might care more about his reputation than to just spite Andy and Jordan. And he suggests that Jordan lets Robin represent Penelope. So then Jordan goes on about how he regrets ever meeting Andy. Rich, of course, Rich doesn't like Andy, so he's backing up what Jordan's saying. He's like, that's why she's helping you, because she's guilt tripping. She's on this guilt trip, whatever the case may be. Tony's like, oh, I don't think she thought Gary was gonna do this and do that. And Jordan's like, even after everything that's happened, I'm still in love with. He says he still loves Andy. Agent Watt starts questioning Gary in his hospital bed. Gary says he don't remember who stabbed him, so Agent Watt has him close his eyes and start picturing his wedding day, the day he was supposed to marry Andy, the day he got stabbed. So what he does remember is that he was stabbed by a woman. So I guess that narrows the suspect pool down to just the women of the cast. And we get the final scene where Andy, she comes over to Zatima's place, and they're telling her that they've been investigating Gary's stabbing. And Andy's like, why? And they like, because we were suspects, so we trying to get the attention off of us and you and Karen. So Andy's like, well, do you guys have any leads? And they like, oh, we don't have nothing yet, but we really don't think it was Penelope. So Andy's like, yeah, I don't think it was Penelope neither. She thinks that Agent Watt manipulated Penelope into confessing. And she tells them that she sent Robin to represent Penelope. So then Zatima, they show her their little suspect board. And they tell her that Robin is like their main suspect, their suspect number one. And they start giving Andy all the reasonings to why they think Robin is guilty. And Fatima tells Andy, if you sent Robin to represent Penelope, then you might have just sealed her fate. Like basically saying that if Robin did do it, then of course he's going to try to get Penelope. He's going to try to get Penelope charged for that. Because to get it off of him, basically. And that's how the episode ends. Like I said, I would still give it a C-. We didn't learn anything new. I guess the only thing we learned new was that the person that stabbed him was a woman and not a man. But I guess that narrows it down to what, Penelope, Andy. I guess all the women that had motive, which would be Fatima, Andy, Penelope. Who else? Tamara. Watch it end up being somebody that's not a real cast member. Like it's gonna be somebody that if they get arrested, we won't miss them on the show. Like it might end up being Tamara or Marie Willis or somebody that we barely see. But I'm like, okay, that narrows it down to those women and shit that had motive. If it was Robin, then that's crazy because he was gone all this time and then they bring him back just to be a attempted murderer and go to jail for it. And it might end up being Robin, but if it do be Robin, that's going to be crazy because why would they have Gary say it was a woman? And then for it to be Robin gets locked up. Andy probably gets her position back at the firm. Who knows? I don't know. But I don't know. We see in the next episode that... What happens in the next episode? Robin does go in trying to help represent Penelope, and Jordan is all up in his face. Sabrina's about to finally find out about Richard's sperm. What else happens in the next week's episode? And Andy asks Robin why all of a sudden he's trying to represent Penelope like she didn't just come to him and ask him. And he's like, am I being punked? So I don't know. I don't think we're going to get any answers next episode. They probably going to wait till the finale to tell us who stabbed Gary. I would hope they do. They dragging this whole who stabbed Gary along too damn long. But everybody knew that they was going to do that. We knew that they was going to drag this shit throughout the whole season. Yeah, like I said, those are my little thoughts, what have yous for this week's episode and what's to come. Like I said, I would grade it a C-. Let me know your grades and your thoughts in the comments. Like and subscribe to the channel. If you sat here for 15 minutes and watched this, you can take 5 seconds and like and subscribe. It helps my channel. It helps your channel if you have one. It helps your algorithm. It's the best way to help promote and support Black upcoming content creation. So like, subscribe, comment below. Thanks for watching this review as late as it was. And I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.